Hello everybody, the X-Spider Films here, and today we will be reviewing Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 5, Public Scrutiny. And this collects Ultimate Spider-Man issues 28 to 32, written by Brendan Michael Bendis, and illustrated by Mark Bagley. And I'm going to be reviewing all the issues individually here. Issue 28 is sidetracked. It really has no major impact on the incoming up storyline. It's just kind of here in a filler issue. But in this issue we see Peter trying to get out of the school to go fight the Rhino. I don't really get to see how complicated his life can be sometimes. And it actually is quite comical how hard it is to get out of the school, into his costume, and down to fight the Rhino. And then when he finally gets there, well, Iron Man has already stopped the Rhino. And it was pretty funny. But yeah, that was just a filler issue. So next issue, when we see things really pop up, and there was this guy in a Spider-Man costume robbing a bank to frame Peter Parker. Of course, he doesn't know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. He just wants to frame Spider-Man, I guess. I don't know, maybe he thinks the costume looks cool, because it is cool. And we see Ben Urich go down to the Daily Bugle where Peter Parker would say what happened, and he says, "I don't think this is the same Spider-Man." And I really started to like this guy. And he says, "I don't think we should write this. I mean, we have an obligation to tell the truth to the public, and I'm not sure if this is really Spider-Man. So I don't think we should really type this up and put it on the newspaper." So I really liked Ben Urich here, even though I know he's... Actually, no, I don't think that's going to happen in this. And so we see him go home, and Peter reflecting on how all of a sudden the world thinks he's a criminal, and Peter's thinking, nothing sucked the life out of me like that criminal did. And we really get to see how the public's opinion of Spider-Man really affects him. And he gets home, and there's a police car parked in front of his house, and he's like freaking out. But of course it's only George Stacy who's visiting Aunt May. Of course, duh. And of course he goes downstairs, washes his costume, and gets into an argument with Mary Jane. Then of course he finds out that the fake him is robbing in another place, so he goes to stop him, pulls up. Police think he's the criminal, of course, even though the criminal's on the inside of the building, and he's on the outside. And Peter Parker even points that out. And then they shoot him. Like, legitly shoot him in the shoulder. And of course, that's where the cliffhanger is in issue 30 starts. And of course, Peter Parker gets away, goes to the hospital, gets a bunch of bandages on it, runs out of the hospital so they don't find out who he is, because he's really stupid at this point. And goes home, and then is planning on going home the next day. But of course, the police sergeant is saying, vigilante behavior will not be tolerated. Spider-Man will... The Spider-Man weasel will pay. And then, 31. And this starts with him seeing George Stacy with his friend. And then all of a sudden, chaos starts up. He runs down, sees fake Spider-Man committing a crime. And of course, he had some... And he says, beginning of the count of 3, and then boom, Peter Parker's in high school. And of course, Shoulders, they're at school, and there's this magical thing that will make him all better, and the shoulders fire. And then we find out that the fake Spider-Man had some kind of plastic explosive in his backpack, and George Stacy saved a child and sacrificed his own life. And of course, as per usual, Gwen blames Peter Parker, Spider-Man, for her dad's death. Issue 32. This one we see Peter Parker finally find the guy who's impersonating him. And of course there's this big fight which is very one-sided, and the guy gets caught and everything's a little happy again. And Peter Parker's reflecting on some stuff, and we really get to find out a lot more about the kind of person that he is and stuff like that. And then he gets into an argument with Mary Jane, and guess what happens? At the end of this trade paperback, there's something that makes me really want to buy the next one. Next, Venom, who is my favorite supervillain of all time. All in all, this is a trade paperback, which is a good buy for anyone that is a fan of the Ultimate Spider-Man comic book series in its heyday before they killed off Peter Parker and replaced him with Miles Morales. But we've already gotten to those Miles Morales comics and how they're actually not that bad. I'm just mad that they killed off Peter Parker. And killing off Peter Parker is a subject to when I get to that comic book. Okay, I'm giving this comic book a 9 out of 10. And tomorrow is going to be the Super Sunday Special, number 2. See you guys next time. And be sure to check out the Spider-Man Edge of Time review that I also did today.